It's Profile with Karl K. Deigert.
Good evening. I'm Karl Deigert. Welcome to Profile. The oldest and biggest black Christian organization in the world is the National Baptist Convention. It's 7.5 million strong with over 30,000 churches, and yet it has gone almost unnoticed by many for over 100 years. And tonight I hope to join you in learning about the Baptist religion by talking with the Reverend Henry P. Davis, Jr., pastor of St. Paul's Baptist Church in Atlantic Highlands. And Reverend, thank you so much for coming to join me on Profile.
It's a pleasure being
And
here.
I get educated too. It's not just the audience, but when I have interesting guests like you with fascinating subjects, I get educated just as they do. So I'm going to start off, and if some of my questions are dumb, forgive me. It's only because of my own ignorance.
Okay.
Do you happen to know offhand, and I don't want to put you on the spot, if you don't, it's okay, who founded the Baptist religion?
The United States started Roger Williams in Providence, Rhode Island back in 1639, but when we talk about beginning, we do not tie it to any one specific person.
Is it in any way, Reverend, connected with John the Baptist, for example?
The name
play a role?
itself is related to John the Baptist in terms of John's mission being a forerunner before Christ, yes.
I see. Now, Reverend, there are, as you know, many different types of religion, all of them Christian, not
Yes.
all, but many that are. How would you say the Baptist religion, your religion, sir, differs, let's say, from Catholicism or the Protestant religion and so forth? Okay. Is there indeed a great difference?
There is a difference, Karl, in reference to the Baptists as compared to other denominations, Catholicism and so forth. And one major difference is in terms of the mode of baptism, where Baptists believe in believer's baptism, and that's something that John the Baptist did when he baptized Jesus at the beginning of his earthly ministry.
You mean submerge him right in a lake or a stream?
Yes,
or?
and then now the baptismal pools that churches have, and they take them under the water, which represents the death of Christ and coming up, the resurrection of Christ.
Is that still done today, Reverend?
Still done today, yes.
In the ocean or bay?
It's done right in the sanctuary or someplace in the church now, because all churches, Baptist churches, are equipped with baptismal pools.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, there's the answer. I thought my next question was going to be, if you said we take them out to the Raritan Bay or Sandy Hook Bay, I was going to say, how do you do that in the winter? You must have
right.
You don't get too many converts.
That's right.
I wouldn't even think of it. What, you know, the Baptist religion to me, and I know very little about it, sir,
Okay.
Seems to be sort of a happy religion because there's a great deal of music connected with it, a lot of gospel songs.
Yes.
Why is that so?
Well, the freedom of worship in terms of scriptural teachings, as far as the Bible say, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, come before his presence with singing. And there was joy and gladness as we read about the beginning of the Christian church, and this is sort of a tradition in the Baptist church. And I might say the Baptist church is sovereign. Each church is its own sovereign body, and the particular membership govern the operation of the church.
I see. What, in your opinion, Reverend, attracted the blacks to the Baptist religion as opposed to some other?
Okay. The independence of the denomination itself. There was no restrictions in terms of organization, beginning, operation, that type of thing. And in the earlier days, in the times of slavery and so forth, because the first Baptist church began in the United States before the Emancipation Proclamation, which was in 1783.
About the time I was getting out of high school.
Okay. And that was that freedom of worship and the individuals able to express their relationship to God in their own way, in their own manner, and this was the main attraction, and without any type of restrictions, and just the freedom that existed in the worship.
Are there whites, Reverend, permitted in the National Baptist Convention?
Very definitely, there are whites permitted, and there are those churches, and in some instances there are ministers, you know, white ministers in the National Baptist Convention.
Did the Civil War in any way play a role in your religion?
The Civil War, like I said, it began prior to the Civil War. As far as the Baptist Church itself, the National Baptist Convention began, say, after the Emancipation Proclamation, and of course the Civil War being in 1865, well, very definitely had a bearing, because initially there was that tendency to try to worship with the majority group, with whites and so forth, but then the time and the attitudes of that period just did not permit the coming together.
I see.
Races, yeah.
Now, I believe I read a great deal about where your church or your religion is involved a great deal in missionary work. Is that
Missionary
reasonably
work,
true?
that's correct.
Could you
yes,
describe a little bit of?
Yes, now it's felt that throughout the world, and I guess the main concern is over in Africa, a lot of the missionary work, but at the same time in the Caribbean, as well as South America, there are those persons that devote their lifetime to the missionary effort. As far as leading individuals to Christ, because it's felt that a new dimension is added to their lives with this relationship with Christ.
I would imagine down, for example, in the country of Haiti, your missionaries would
yes,
greatly need
just within this state, we have one of our associations, Middlesex Central Association. They have a mission station that they support right in the country of Haiti.
Reverend, is there a difference between, in the Baptist religion, between the white Baptist religion and the black, or is it one and the same?
It would be one and the same. The organizational structure would be different. Among whites in the United States, we have the American Baptist, which is mainly northern, and we have Southern Baptist, which is south. The Southern Baptists go into the north, and I guess there are some American Baptists in southern portions of the country, but the National Baptist pretty much covers, National Baptist USA Incorporated covers all 50 states.
But in the religion itself, is there a vast difference?
The belief is the same in terms of a person has to exercise a belief in Christ. The type of baptism for white Baptists is the same as for black. The operation of the church is the same. It has its own sovereignty as far as the operation. The individual church determines its operation. The same thing holds true in the Black Baptist Church.
I see.
Yes.
Could you tell us about the Selma University and a little history?
Well, the Selma University is a Baptist school, and it goes way back to the early time, right after the Reconstruction period. And one of the presidents of the National Baptist Convention and the present president of the National Baptist Convention had direct relationship to Selma University in Selma, Alabama. And of course, if we come up to the Civil Rights Movement, we know that in Selma, the march from Selma to Montgomery and the problem that existed from the outset, that sort of thing. But many of our leaders in the Baptist Church in the early days did go to school at Selma University.
Where, Reverend, in Atlantic Highlands exactly is St. Paul's Baptist Church?
It's located on West Highland Avenue, right off of First Avenue. It's right behind Siegfried Hardware store. It's called, I think, Jaspin 9 Siegfried Hardware.
You know offhand how many members you got?
Roughly offhand, I would say we have really active 175 members in the church.
Looking for more?
Looking for more, that's right. That's true, yeah.
Why not? When was that particular church in Atlantic Highlands started?
Started in 1899. Started in 1899. Yeah.
And is it true it's all paid for?
Yes, all paid for. No
money. No money is due on it, right?
No money is due on anything.
And I think I read in some of the literature you sent me, because I did do my homework, Reverend, that the church is never again permitted to have a mortgage on it. Is that right?
That's very true. They had a lot of problems back in the 30s in terms of mortgages and so forth, and all of the building renovation and everything that's taken place since that time.
How do you hope, though, to expand and build more and so forth without a mortgage? Isn't it tough to have lump
There
sum money?
would come a time where that's necessary to have a mortgage, but the most recent addition to the church was completed in '76, and we were able to do that without any mortgage. It was
That's wonderful.
paid for cash. Yeah.
Quite a few churches can't say that.
No, that's not true.
That's true. Are you a native of the area?
No, I'm originally from Texas. Grew up in Taylor, Texas.
Where everything is big, right?
Yes, yes. Just came back from there yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Is that right?
Yeah, the National Baptist Convention was in Houston, Texas.
Ah.
Yeah.
What's your schooling?
Schooling, well, I went to school in Texas. I went to college, Houston Tillotson College in Austin, Texas, where I received my Bachelor of Science degree. And then I went to the Air Force, and after that I received a Master of Education degree from Prairie A&M University. And,
You're a pretty well-educated man.
well, I have some education.
Yes, you have quite a bit. You say you have a master's degree in what, sir?
In education, I will hopefully receive the Master of Divinity degree from New Brunswick Seminary in New Jersey next May. Just about completed work.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
A premature congratulations to you.
Well, thank you so much.
I place your life in danger, I think, if I sent you home without your mentioning your wife's name.
Oh, okay. My wife's name is Ardelia Davis. She worked for many years as a nurse at the Jersey Shore Medical Center in Neptune.
Retired now?
Retired in March of '85.
We have children, do we?
I have 4 children, that's correct.
Quickly, their names and what are they doing
Yeah,
now?
well, I have twin boys, Kevin and Kent, and oldest son is Henry P. Davis III. He is a minister. We'll be graduating together from New Brunswick with the Master of Divinity degree next May. He received his master's earlier in '85 in public administration from Fairleigh Dickinson University. Then we have a daughter, Susan Davis. She graduated from law school at College of William & Mary this past May, and she just started working as a law clerk for Judge Lawrence Lawson here at the Monmouth County Courthouse this past Tuesday of last week, which was September the 8th, yes.
That's marvelous to hear all your children are successful and doing well. I'm glad to hear that.
We're proud.
True, you worked 34 years for the government?
That's
You mean
correct.
I helped pay your salary?
Yes, you certainly did.
Did I give you nice raises?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
things?
I think things went fairly well until just recently.
And you're also a Korean vet.
Yes, that's
And you were in Korea during the time, I believe, when I was there. You were in 1950 to 52?
Yeah, 52, yes.
I was there, sir.
Is that right?
traveled
Whereabouts were you doing?
all over the place. I was in
okay.
special service.
I was
the
in
guy.
Suwon, Kempo.
Oh,
And,
sure, Kempo Airport.
Yes, yeah.
Incheon.
Yeah, yeah.
Yongdong-po.
Right.
Oh, God.
Yeah, through Yongdong-po.
I was one of the guys who went around and made funnies, entertained all
okay.
the people.
All right.
We may have met. You just don't remember.
That's very true. Very well.
What's your opinion, if you might condense it, sir, of the world today?
The world today, it's sort of hard to tell with so many things going on in terms of the Persian Gulf, the situation that exists there. We talk about race relations in this country, the attitudes of the people now and in the various positions that individuals have taken. We have the drug problems today, and many problems exist in the country today. I was just, like I said, just in Texas yesterday, and they were talking about the cocaine, how easy it is to get in Dallas, Texas, and Dallas has become the crime capital of the world. You would think of New York City.
But as we said a few moments ago, we shall overcome.
We shall, we certainly shall, and with the help of the Lord, and we feel that, as the scriptures say, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me.
Well, that's a nice way to end your brief segment on my show, but believe it or not, it's over, Reverend, and you were such a delight. I'm almost disappointed. I am disappointed that it ended so quickly. And thank you again for coming to join me on Profile.
Thank you so much for having me.
And you nice people, when we return, are going to think that Profile has gone to the dogs. You'll see when I come back.
Lou Gossett is annoyed.
Hey, you know, we've got some real bad guys in this country. Abusing public lands, defacing parks, robbing historic sites. These are our lands, yours and mine. You know, the good guys. Now, you're gonna let a bunch of bad guys run us off our public lands? Or are you gonna help save the lands? Let's show these bad guys that the good guys always win.
Write Take Pride in America. Post Office Box 1339, Jessup, Maryland 20794.
You're about to witness an occasion. Having interviewed about 650 people from all walks of life, I want you to meet my first inhuman guest. No, he's not from outer space. His doghouse, if you forgive me, is in Middletown. Let's get to know him as we greet McGruff. Well, sir, are you a plainclothes detective or just detective or what? What kind of a detective are you?
I'm a plainclothes detective, and I represent crime prevention.
Crime prevention. You don't cause any crime, do you?
I should hope not. I prevent it.
I see. I think what we ought to do is introduce another person, not to take the limelight away from you, because Detective McGruff, we're going to get back to you, but I'd like you to meet a partner of yours. You've already met him, Detective McGruff, but the public should get to meet him. He is Middletown Police Officer Tom Pegut, and thank you, sir, for joining me, along with your partner.
Well, thank you for having us.
On Profile. How did McGruff originate, Tom?
McGruff was created in 1979, in fact, on July 1st by the National Crime Prevention Council, which is headquartered in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm. And why a dog instead of another animal? If you'll forgive me, sir, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
I really don't know the answer to that question, Karl, although the name McGruff, Gruff,
yes,
really stuck, and people throughout the township who I have come across have really indicated to me that McGruff is a lovable doggy, and they love McGruff. They love the idea.
Just don't get them mad, right?
Oh, McGruff isn't that kind of a doggy. He gets his point across, especially to the younger children and even to the senior citizens in town.
Mm-hmm. And he's loved by all, I'm sure.
He certainly is.
Who actually made him, Tom? Do you know? Who put him together? And don't let him hear us talking like this.
Well, the National Crime Prevention Council
They actually
created the idea, and
mm-hmm.
they actually put him together. Now, the robot was created by an outfit in Utah.
That's what I mean, the robot. Who
Yeah, it's an outfit in Utah.
Mm-hmm. And why did you feel, Tom, or the organization you mentioned, why did they feel that McGruff was even needed?
Well, as you know, Karl, the society we're living in today, it's difficult. Crime is running rampant, and there was a need. I mean, prisons can't hold people. There just isn't enough room, and crimes are being committed at an alarming rate. And they felt that there was a need for people to be educated in the area of crime prevention. Instead of after the fact, people should be educated in an area where if they can prevent the crime from happening, they would be better off. Mm-hmm. And that's where McGruff comes in, to help educate people.
And he kind of holds their attention, gets them to listen.
He's an attention getter, there's no doubt about that.
He's pretty effective, is he? Yeah.
He's very effective, especially...
Where do you use him the most, or where, in fact, do you use him?
Well, we use McGruff in our school programs. We have a child safety program in the elementary schools in town.
Mm-hmm.
We use McGruff on our tours of the police station with the Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Brownies,
mm-hmm.
Tiger Scouts, and the like. And we use it for special functions. In fact, just yesterday, I brought McGruff out to a block party in the Winthrop section of our town, and he went over very big with the with the boys and girls as well as the adults over there. And we also use him at times.
He didn't drink too much, did he?
McGruff had a can of Diet Pepsi, believe it or not.
Who purchased him? Or was he indeed purchased?
McGruff was purchased with the help of service clubs and the Rainbow Foundation. The Rainbow Foundation was very instrumental in the purchase of McGruff, along with the Lions Club and the Vince Lombardi chapter of the Knights of Columbus in our town.
Mm-hmm.
They sponsored McGruff. They gave me the donation, and with their help, and we're very grateful for their donations, we were able to purchase McGruff.
I'm happy to be a board member of the Rainbow Foundation.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that.
You'll be calling on me, will you?
Well, any friend of Tom Caraman's is certainly a friend of the police department.
Well, yeah, Tom is a marvelous, marvelous person. I think before we go any further, we ought to show the people that Detective McGruff just doesn't stand around, that he is mobile, and let's, in fact, have a look at what he does do. How about that? Now, you do the voice for him, do you not, Tom?
Yes, I do the voice. What we have is a program in the schools where I would hide in a remote area, usually in the all-purpose room of the, behind the curtain of the all-purpose room in the respective schools that I would conduct my program in. Of course, McGruff would give his spiel to the children, and then after that, we would have a little game that we play with the children. And it's a question and answer period with the children, and we give out certain prizes to the winning team, and of course, the losing team doesn't walk away empty-handed, but it's a way of keeping the children attentive to what the purpose of the program.
How available is McGruff? Can just about any organization have him appear?
Well, the McGruff is actually, you have to be a crime prevention type of an organization, a police department. We have a local organization, a county organization, where just about all of the departments in the county are part of, and I think there are one or two other departments that actually have the McGruff robot. Crime prevention per se, Carl, is a low-budgeted item in police departments, and in order to obtain a McGruff, it would probably be a burden on most departments.
Financially?
Financially, yes, because he does run into... the purchase price for this McGruff was $2,500.
Wow. And isn't that sad, though? Here is something that would prevent crime, and we have such a low budget for it.
Well, Carl, believe me, you can't put a price on teaching, especially young children in our town, who are extremely smart individuals.
Yes.
They're very smart for their age, and their parents ought to be commended for the most part, because you know, it's a funny thing, Carl. I can remember even going back when I was a child, and I never had to worry, my parents never had to worry about locking their doors. They never had to worry about people breaking into their homes. When I was still in a carriage, I can remember going shopping with my mom taking me into a store. A short time later, she came back, I was eating an ice cream cone. Some stranger came along and just gave me an ice cream cone because he liked the way I looked or just took a liking to me. You can't let a child have an ice cream from a stranger nowadays.
No.
It's just the way our society is. You can't go out of your home without locking your door. You just, and there's where McGruff comes in. McGruff is that educational tool. He teaches children how to deal with strangers.
That's why I say it's unfortunate that the budget is so low, because to prevent crime is certainly worth spending a little bit more money than we have allotted.
Well, in our department, I must say that our chief and our deputy chief...
Who is your chief, sir?
Of course, you know Chief McCarthy, who's been on your program a number of times.
Yes, of
but
course.
They are very cooperative and very responsive to the McGruff program. And without their support, we wouldn't have been able to go as far as we have. And of course, my commanding officer, who is my immediate officer, Captain Joe Shaffrey, also is very supportive.
Tom, why were you selected to be the partner of McGruff?
Well...
Instead of Joe McCarthy?
Well, I have a way with children, Carl. I do get along very well with them. I have a good rapport with them. I also get along with the elderly alike. And I think that's one of the
Why did you look at me when you said that?
Pardon me?
Why did you look at me when you said elderly?
I turned away, Carl. I didn't want you to feel bad.
Okay. Go ahead.
But I think that's one of the criteria, seriously speaking, to perform in the job capacity that I'm performing in. You have to be able to have a good rapport with the young and with the old alike. And I feel that I do. And I feel I'm suited for that type of work.
Uh-huh. Well, I agree. You do have an excellent personality, Tom. How do the elderly, now that you mention it, receive McGruff?
With mixed emotions, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes. As opposed to the children that really take McGruff seriously because they're really into an animated type of a character, or in this case, the McGruff robot type of a character. Elderly people will at times feel the same way, but they at times also feel that they're being slighted and you're trying to more or less make a fool out of them.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to play it by ear and take each situation as it arises. But McGruff is basically well received no matter where he goes.
How about the authorities, Tom? Let's say judges and parole officers and what have you. What is their opinion of McGruff? Do they believe he's worth it, and has he been helpful in their opinion?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Although we don't really, I don't think the judges, to be quite honest with you, or the parole people are too aware of the efforts of McGruff. I think they're really too wrapped up, or I shouldn't say wrapped up, but they're too busy in other areas. But I think that they're starting to realize that there is a need for crime prevention, and that's one of the things that our county organization has been pushing. We have had meetings with Chiefs of Police Association and various other organizations to promote our efforts.
How far ahead is this gentleman booked for personal appearances?
Well, I'll tell you, Carl, October is Crime Prevention Month.
Oh, yeah?
And there's not a day open for McGruff. He's a very busy individual, and come October, he'll be even busier. And in fact, on the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of October, if any of the viewers want to see McGruff personally, to ask him any questions, or to shake his hand, or give him a big kiss on the nose.
Or have a picture taken with him?
Or have a picture taken with him also. We'll be having a mall show. The Monmouth County Police Crime Prevention Officers Association at the Monmouth County Mall in Eatontown, which will run from opening until closing on those 3 days.
The Monmouth Mall right down here in Eatontown?
That's correct, Carl.
Oh, that sounds great. And kiddies can come up and actually get a picture?
Oh, absolutely. McGruff just loves children.
Maybe he's got a career in show business, do you think?
He probably does. I hope some of the listeners have seen him on television, especially the young children, with his crime prevention tips that he provides periodically.
Yes. Is there a special channel that presents him, or is he seen on most of them?
He's seen on most channels.
Yeah.
Normally during the children's programs.
Well, I certainly am impressed with him. He's, I don't know, where does he buy his clothes, Tom?
The clothes come with
a Humphrey Bogart raincoat?
The clothes come with the robot.
Yeah.
That's part of his getup.
All he needs is a fedora, and I think he could be Humphrey Bogart.
McGruff has tried on a few fedoras at this time. We have a lot of fun with him.
Is there anything that you'd like to say regarding McGruff, crime prevention, or anything in general before we close him out?
Yes, I would like to tell one and all that to try to give McGruff assistance, and especially the young ones, now that you're back in school, you make sure that you listen to your parents. You don't do anything unless you have their permission. Don't go anywhere unless they say you can. And you report any strange activities, especially around the school buses that you go on every morning. If you see somebody that doesn't belong there, you tell the school bus driver or the principal or your teacher, even a police officer, or your parents when you get home. Make sure you report anything and everything that happens. We don't want to see anybody on a milk carton because you're a missing child. You love your parents love you, and we want you to stay safe and help us take a bite out of crime.
That's an excellent piece of advice, sir, and I certainly appreciate it, and I'm sure the public does as well. Thank you, Detective McGruff, for joining me this evening, and Tom, thank you so much, and of course, thank you, nice people, for watching Profile. I'm going to see you next week with some more interesting guests. I'm Karl Deigert. Good night.